Well, howdy, folks. It's time for Beyond the Smoke Barbecue Talk. So grab your drink of choice and come gather around the fire as we talk all things Beyond the Smoke. Featuring pitmaster chats from all your favorite names in barbecue. We chat about competitions, pits, meats, and everything in between. From barbecue to grilling, from trimming to smoking, we got you covered. Got questions? Let us know. We're always happy to hear from you. Thanks for coming, friend. We're glad you're here. Now sit back, relax, and let's talk some barbecue. It's time to go Beyond the Smoke.
There it is.
What's up?
What's up, dude?
What's up, fellas?
What's up?
Oh, man. Another Monday. We're here. We made it.
I hear you.
How was y'all's holiday?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty good, bro. How was yours, man?
Busy. Cooking. Did too many turkeys. Stick of turkey, dude. They're easy to cook, but man, I don't like trimming them.
What's up, Bobby?
The Bobo.
How many turkeys did you cook?
Oh man, total probably 10.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Too many.
A few. And then I did that choice brisket. When was it? Saturday. That thing came out pretty good, man.
It looked damn good.
Yeah, I had I finished it early, and then my mother-in-law wanted to do it for dinner. And I'm like, well, shit, I wish I would have known that. I would put it on later. So it took like 12 and a half hours total, and then dude, it rested for a good 6 hours, something like that. So that thing was pretty solid. Pretty solid.
What'd you do all those turkeys for? You got them sold, or you made them for other families?
Yeah, sold. Made some for the company. Made one for us. You know how it is. You know how it is.
What you said?
Did a little bit of some ribs and pork butt, and then man, I smoked my first whole turkey Saturday.
Yeah.
It turned out pretty damn good. I was impressed.
What'd you take it to?
Man, kind of fucked up. Walked away from it for a little bit. Went to go help the girlfriend's stepdad out on the ranch, and it took us a little longer. So it ended up 170, but
That's not too bad.
But man, it got to rest for about an hour. Just wrapped it in foil in a pan, and man, it was a damn good turkey.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start cooking my chicken like that.
You sure it wasn't a chicken?
That was a small turkey, but it wasn't no chicken.
All right, on. Shoot.
What
What about you, Kyle? What you do, man?
You guys are gonna laugh at me, but the whole family, we went to like a resort down by Austin, and so we stayed in the resort, and then I'm originally from about 45 minutes from there, so we just ran down to my grandma's house for Thanksgiving, and they did all the cooking for us. We just hung out and sat on the couch, ate some food, chilled out, and then went back to the resort.
Nice.
Sounds good, bro.
Nice.
Oh man.
And Anthony?
I like to cook, man, but it's nice once in a while to get a holiday off and chill, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I ended up just spatchcocking a turkey, bro. I'm cooking three more. I cooked 4 turkeys.
Nice.
And 3 of them spatchcocked, one of them like the Rec Tech, But the real star of the show, my buddy of mine, he made some carnitas when we went to. He was on one of my buddies, Frankie, from the cook-off team. He made some carnitas and he picked them up, man. That stuff got 8 more than my turkey did, man.
It's that Hatch chili that you stuffed in them, dude.
Yeah, bro. Always with the Hatch chili, huh?
No, cool, man. That's good that we had everybody's safe and back to it. So it's good.
Yes, sir.
Kyle, introduce our guest for tonight. Episode 19, dude.
Episode 19. We got Texas original Joey Machado on tonight. We're gonna get to hear a little bit about his story, and so it's gonna be a fun one.
Cool, man. Let's bring him in. There he is.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, Joey?
What's going on, Joey?
Hey, thanks for being on the show, man.
Yes, sir.
I had to represent tonight.
Yeah,
I like that hat.
That was my favorite hat they had there.
I didn't get one, dude.
But no, where'd y'all wind up going in Kyle? Kyle, where did y'all go in Austin? Did y'all go to Kalahari or what?
Yep, we went to Kalahari.
Gee, you were right by Suarez's house. You're right there. Mark lives like 2 blocks away.
Oh, damn, in Hutto or what?
No, he's in Pflugerville.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it ain't far.
No, I think he's got a season pass. His kid's like 1 year old, but he's got a season pass.
That place is cool, man. It was a hell of a lot bigger than what I thought it was. I'm amazed we didn't get fucking lost in that place.
Yeah.
And there's bars everywhere, restaurants. I mean, it's crazy. It's cool.
Yeah, no, it's a neat spot. There he is, Mr. Marcus.
There he is.
So what's up, y'all? Everybody survived the holidays?
Yeah, we're here. We're here, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Chingo.
Manuel.
What's up, Manuel?
What's up, brother?
What's up, Manuel?
So Joey, tell us a little bit about Texas Original.
Well, Texas Original. He got born out of me being fed up with for working for and building a lot of brands. It's really what happened. And so we originally started it just with the idea that we wanted to be I say we, it's like I have a mouse in my pocket all the time, but it's just me. But it just, started with an idea of I wanted to develop a good product for the end user that would be a good, high quality product that wouldn't break the bank, that I could work directly with independent retailers, which in layman's terms means not big box stores. So being able to deal with, independent retailers that most of you buy all your stuff from, and giving them a product that they can make some money on by the time they landed it in their store. But the end user customer, you guys, would be happy with the quality of the product and not worry about, buying it. Over the course of the last couple of years, when we started originally doing this, we had an idea to start this off with the company that was called Texas Original Pits originally. And, you know, we were going to, hey, we're just going to partner up and we're going to kind of blow this thing up, you know, being able to cover both sides of the spectrum. You know, they were going to build the pits. I was going to get out there and kind of push them and, you know, do the marketing aspect and everything else. The company was around for 20 years, bro. But I mean, you tell me, you know, how many people knew about that company before I started pushing it?
Right.
Nobody. You know, so we kind of just fell into this deal that we were going to kind of do this, and then halfway through the deal, they didn't want to make them anymore, and it wasn't going to be something. I wanted to be a charcoal company. I really didn't want to be a pit company. It just happened to be something that we were going to be able to do hand in hand. We were doing stuff with barbecueguys.com, and, you know, we had a bunch of little things working. You know, had some stuff going with Food Network for Barbecue Brawl. You know, built some specific pits for them for you know, it's been now this will be the third season of those pits, you know, being on the show. Over the career that I've had, you know, starting with B&B Charcoal back in the day, you know, I was just a comp cook. And, you know, I was a weekend guy going out there, just, you know, fell in love with the sport. And like everybody else, I just wanted you know, looking for a sponsor, just like everybody is today. And I found a product that I liked. It was a very good product. It wasn't very well known, you know, but they happened to be like 30, 40 minutes away from me. So I just kind of reached out, was a pain in their ass, and just, you know, I started doing some stuff like trading out fuel for, you know, going and doing trade shows for them, and, you know, trying to blow the brand up a little bit. Back in the day when I ran, when I was cooking, you know, because I've been cooking for 20, I don't know, my kids are 22, so I'm like 23, 24 years almost now. And, you know, so we cooked a long time. You know, we probably cooked 10 years without winning a damn thing, you know, but we cooked, you know, we enjoyed it. You know, it was back in the day when, you know, you went to a cook off and it was just about hanging out, you know, and it was a party back in the day. And that was pretty much the only reason we went. And then once we got a little bit more serious about it, you know, and trying to hone our skills and stuff like that, that's when we started promoting, and I started branding, and I, you know, had a bigger trailer and, you know, all this other crazy stuff. And we started winning a little bit, but, you know, but it was a lot cheaper to play that game then than it is today. It's a hell of a hobby today.
Yeah.
And again, and it's one of those things that, you know, even with me developing these brands right now, is we want to make sure that, you know, we continue to keep this sport affordable, you know, because not everybody can have, you know, $100,000 invested in their barbecue toys. You know, there's, you know, it's crazy because you're starting to see more and more and more investment in this game. And, you know, at the end of the day, everyone cooks very, very similar now, you know, and it's very few things are kind of separating the field right now, you know. And but again, I mean, internet is what did that, you know. It made it easier to share the information, you know, take the classes, do all kinds of stuff. But when I was with B&B, you know, we went from a relatively small company into a bigger company that eventually got bought out. You know, when they got bought out, there was another company out there that's called Western Wood Products at the time. Western Wood Products was our direct competitor as far as like in the wood game when I was with B&B. And they actually they got bought out first. So, and they got bought out by Duraflame. So then Duraflame, that same brand, is the one that bought out B&B. Yep. And then after they bought out B&B, I left them and I jumped on board with Fogo. And because, again, looking for a high quality company that, you know, was proud about what they were doing. And it's a Latin owned company too. And so, like I said, those guys they're awesome. Sebastian's a great guy, good product. But the only problem with that product is, you know, it's good quality, but it's on the higher side, right?
Yeah, it's expensive.
And so we went through a little while, and, you know, I kind of brought it into Texas, and we started kind of promoting it and pushing it. that type of deal. And then in the meanwhile, Tim Shear with Blues Hog, he'd been a friend for years. We just kind of got to talking, and he just said, "Hey, man, I think you need to come over here with me." I told him, I was like, "Bro, if you want to, up your charcoal game, you want to start building something, let's jump on it and go." And so I did. So I left Fogo and went and jumped on with Tim, and went on to. There's my boy Peter, and we just went on to start launching the Blues Hog deal, mainly focusing on Texas, but of course, I've always traveled all over the place. And then as we kind of continued to go, down the path, Tim wanted to expand more. So charcoal wasn't real big on his picture. He wanted to, he was getting into Wagyu meats and pork and all that other stuff. What a lot of people don't know is Tim comes from, first off, he's in Missouri, but he grew up, his dad's he's a huge pork producer. And I'm talking about thousands of animals that they produce. They're commercial producers for pork. And so that's kind of the lifestyle that Tim grew up around. And so with that being said, Tim was very interested in growing the meat side of things. And at that time, I was like, bro, I don't want to go sell meat. I just want to sell charcoal. And so we just said, hey, bro, let's just, let's shake hands right now. And I'm going to go do something else. And that's when I kind of jumped in to do the charcoal side. Had a good partner of mine who is down. He's originally from Mexico, from Monterrey, but lives in Houston and actually in Pasadena. And he's got, he was doing some kind of side deals, to where he was brokering some charcoal deals and stuff like that. So we kind of got together, and then we started he was already had this charcoal product in mind that he wanted to sell. And so when we got over there, part of the deal was I was going to help him get his product out. And in turn, he was going to help me get my product out. And so when we got started, he's the one that already had the Chaparral charcoal product. So that was his deal. Again, from Mexico, I mean, that Chaparral means something. For us down here, it don't mean nothing. Right. So when you have a product that you put out there in a retail store that's Chaparral, Anglo markets know nothing about that. And Anglo markets right now are very used to walking into a Michoacan or, something like that and paying $3 for this bag and walking out the door, But again, the product in these bags it's a high quality product. So that briquette that you see right there is very, very similar to a roll oak natural briquette, but we came out with these at least that we could kind of target a grocery market. So like that bag right there, that's an 8.8 pound bag of briquettes, but they're smaller, right? They're a little briquette. We also have an extruded product. So the extruded product is going to be like a char log or something like that. That lump right there is, it's a smaller bag. That's a 6.6 pounder. But that one is going to be something more similar to briquette sized lump charcoal. Clean, but it's a mixed hardwood. So it's a little bit of mesquite, a little bit of oak, mixed in there. And then I also have that bag in a 16 pounder. And then, of course, we have the extruded, which is the blue bag, which that one is just a tube charcoal. So if you use a char log or anything like that, that's what that product is. But what the idea was is we do private label for other companies. And so what we do is this is the basis of if somebody goes, hey, I want a charcoal, but they're not all they want to do is put their name on a bag. That's the product that I'll private label for them. So, so we already have it ready to go. We just print your bags and we'll go make you charcoal tomorrow. So that's kind of what that line was. On the Texas Original side, I had some very specific things that I was looking for, which I wanted to have a high quality oak lump charcoal. In Mexico, there's a lot of lump charcoal. There's a lot of mesquite. There's a lot of hickory. There's a lot of oak. The oak that they have there and the oak that we have here are very, very similar, but it's not the same. You know, when you get the hickory wood charcoal, that one is very distinct. I don't really care for a hickory charcoal that much. I just like a natural oak that I can kind of do with whatever I want to with it. You know, I can one chunk of wood and you can kind of change the flavor, right? But it's always good and consistent. And what the difference with the charcoal that we do, opposed to a lot of the other charcoals that are out there, is we buy this charcoal from carabineros in Mexico from all over. And, you know, we have a specific product that we're looking for to put in these bags. And the charcoal that we get is denser. It's not always 100% carbonized all the time, because these are done old school kilns in the field. They chop down green trees, they go in the kilns, and they carbonize them out in the field. And so you may get a piece out of there that may not be carbonized all the way. And that's just because this is people are doing this. It's not, there's no machinery involved. This is old school. This is hundreds and hundreds of years of process, the way that they've been doing this. And the families, the carboneros, there are families who, for generations and generations, that's all these people do. There's nothing else, these families have ever done. And they're kind of like nomads. They just go from ranch to ranch to ranch to ranch and do the same process all over the place. And so once we get the charcoal back to Monterey, whatever is too small to bag, or what we call shake, so they'll put that charcoal in big 1,000-pound sacks, or they'll put it in 40-pound sacks, like old corn sacks, that they'll get that are like reuse them. And they bring that back to Monterey. They dump it all out, and then you have a bunch of dust left over, or small pieces that you can't use. So what happens with that is that's what we create the briquettes out of.
Oh, nice.
And so the briquettes that we do, it's a 100% oak, comes straight out of this product right here. We use a 7% natural starch binder in there. And when we were developing this product, the briquette side, I wanted to have, when I started with B&B back in the day, we had the best briquette. And once they sold, the formula changed, because they got more than one briquetting plant now. So, if you ever buy a bag, you may notice one time it's like a perfect briquette. And then you buy another bag and it's like one that will hardly stay together, and the bees different and everything else. They're making them in two separate plants. So there's no consistency in product there. But they're selling so much that they just got to put stuff in a bag and go.
Right.
So,
get like a lowercase b on the briquette and shit.
That's it. Like Pluto Timu. But that's kind of the deal is, when I came out with the briquette, a lot of guys had asked, oh, you're going to put a T on it. You're going to go, do like, no, bro. I said, we did. I don't really want to do that. I mean, the B on that briquette, bro, that was iconic. I mean, that is the photos that you see floating around with that. Those are my photos from back in the day, because that was what, that was going to be the distinct deal. When I was with B&B, my focus was kind of pushing briquette, and the lump product had been their flagship forever. And I was like, nah, I said, this briquette deal, it's going to blow up, and they just kind of never took it, took it very seriously. And then it turned out to be a crazy product, because I partnered with SCA during the time, and then we started pushing that with SCA, and it just we created a beast with it. Right. But anyway, so when we did ours, I said I didn't want anything. I didn't want any imprint. I didn't want ridges. I didn't want letters. I didn't want nothing. I just wanted a big briquette that would be nice, dense, pretty consistent as far as, you have a hard time finding a bunch of briquettes in my bags. So that's kind of what we came up with. I just wanted a long burning briquette that was going to be very consistent. Now, with saying that, over the last 2 months, I've been having some issues with the briquetting process. So I'm behind on briquettes right now. I'm hoping that we're going to have that cleared up in it like next week or so, and we'll be back in briquettes again. So I apologize, people who've been burning them and haven't been able to get a hold of them. I'm in the same boat, dude. I'm sitting on like 8 bags, and I've got those, and I'm holding them right now so I can send
supply and demand.
That dude, I'm sitting on them so I can send them with Kevin and Bobby and Manuel to Vegas, because they'll be going to Vegas this weekend.
Right.
And but like I said, I want a high quality product. I want something that's accessible, but I don't want anything that is, again, if it doesn't make sense for you to run it, then it's, then I don't want to try to sell it to you. Right. I have a few people that are selling stuff for me online. Like I deal with Butler Wood Products. I warehouse out of one of their warehouses in Gonzales. And Mark's got all the inventory. And so they're like one of my online retailers. So I don't sell direct to consumer as far as online. I let Butler do that. So if anybody wants to order online from Butler, they can order it from Butler online. It's going to cost you because they have their freight and everything else in there, but they're a distributor. And now that I see like Kevin and these guys popping up, a lot of you guys who are in the game kind of know, I have a group of people who have been branding for me since day one. And again, that's Bobby Delgado, that's Manuel Moreno. We got Robert Rocha, we got Ira Green. We have got Kevin.
Heavy hitters, bro.
Kevin was like the newest one. He was the baby in the bunch. Renee, I'm not sure, but I know that I think maybe South Texas was looking at bringing it in at South Texas Outdoor Kitchens. But I have like a good group, so we have Armando. He does a good job for me down out of Laredo. But anyways, we've got people, Jackie Milligan. We've got we got Michelle in Houston. We've got with Amp over there. I've got one in Canada, so I've got Janice Smella with Smellicue out of Canada. Right. So we've got a good group of people that have been with me for a very, very long time. All these people, I think Kevin's like one of the only ones that like I didn't know for years and years and years. But a lot of these guys, when I switched companies, they would be like, hey, what are we doing next? Type of deal. And so they've always been there to support me, type of deal. And I've always told all these guys, the day that my product isn't good for you is the day that you need something else, because for us is we don't do, I don't buy people as far as that goes. Right. I don't pay people to use my product, put it that way. So, when I see people who are using my product and I see you have bags sitting there and I know, it didn't come from me, more than likely, whether you're there or not, I'm probably going to leave you a bag if I roll by there. I like to take care of the people who take care of me. But with that being said, further down the road, as we grow more, we're probably, going to be able to do more for more people, take on more people, at least do some team programs, something. I had told you a little bit off the air that, over these last couple of years, some things have changed with, the pit company being involved and not being involved and all that other stuff. Originally, when we were going to start the charcoal company, I had a brand in mind because, I had a handle, a TikTok handle. I got a TikTok channel. It's called Texas Fire. And I've had this brand that I've been sitting on for a long time. It's called Texas Fire Brand. And originally we were going to launch that. And then again, like I said, because of circumstance, we took on the Texas original name. There's a high probability that we're probably going to switch over to Texas Firebrands. And I wish I would have shared the logo with you earlier, so you kind of have an idea, and you kind of understand what I want to do. By going that route, I have nobody holding anything over me, right? It's just me. Mm-hmm. And I don't have any partners. I don't have any anything like that. And that's kind of my end game. I've been doing this for a long time. Where I'm 54 right now, I think. And and I've just, dude, I've enjoyed this so much. We don't. My aspirations is to like wrap it up, kind of doing this what I love to do. I've got a ranch here in town that we're building a house on right now. We're probably going to do some warehousing out there. We're going to once we kind of have that out there, it's a bigger place, got about 130 acres out there, and we're turning that into a cooking compound and an entertaining compound, and where we can shoot content.
Nice.
Probably have an event or two out there every year, right here in Seguin, and and that's it. I still work with lots of other brands, as far as like Weber Grills, Napoleon Grills, some other manufacturers out there that we do some content for. Our biggest goal for the duration is continue to make a good product, continue to make more products that make more sense as far as like the seasonings and stuff like that. We touched a little bit on the seasonings that we're trying to roll out right now. Some of y'all know that I've been doing festivals for like the last, 4 years, 5 years, something like that. So we go and do festivals, and we cook at these bigger festivals that were like tied in with NFL, and we do Memphis in May. We do all these other things that are public facing events, and we'll either partner with another brand to go do them, or we just do them 100% on our own. While we've been doing it, I've had a seasoning that I've used for a few years. Some of we used to develop the B&B seasonings, which one of them was our Texas Trinity. I wanted to bring Trinity back. B&B is no longer producing it anymore, so I was going to just take it and run it again. But there's a lot of stuff out there right now that's very similar to what it was. So we've kind of revamped it. And this one is, I think, 10 times better than what it was. I'm going to bring it back and call it Texas Original Trinity again. We went down to go cook it for Ernest Cervantes down at, he had a dove hunt earlier this year. And so I had Bobby go up there, and I had a good friend of mine, Brandon Ryder, went over there to go help me cook. And, we just kind of had fun. And I had the bottles. When I mixed it up, I just wrote Dove Hunt on the bottles, and I set it there on the counter. And, and Bobby kept asking, he's like, oh, man, he goes, what do you season this with? I said, that. And he's like, what do you season this with? I was like, that. That's all we, the whole weekend we made, from enchiladas to pulled pork to, everything that we made was the only seasoning that we made. And so Bobby's like, oh, bro, he said, when are you going to make that Dove Hunt? And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, bro, you got to make that Dove Hunt. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, the seasoning you had over there. And I was like, oh, shit. I said, he goes, oh, but you should call it Dove Hunt. Well, and if we go that route, I can, because I want to make another version that would be like a citrus type of season. I don't want to make any red seasonings. I just want to make kind of a salt, pepper, garlic, kind of blend type of thing. Right. Once people taste it, they'll understand that this ain't your regular SPG. But we thought about doing, like, if we did like a dove hunt, a deer camp, a fish camp, type of deal, to play on that as well. So I don't know. It's still up on the board.
Well, I was lucky enough to try some of it at the. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I think that's where me and you initially met, was at the Texas Bash.
That's right.
And Bobby had some. He told me to try some, man. And that stuff was good, dude. It was good.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he had your trailer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot all about that. Yeah, and like I said, it's a different it's just a different blend.
Right.
You know, there's some familiar notes to it, but like I said, it's across the board. It just works. So one of the biggest things for me is if I can get that seasoning out, then all of a sudden it gives me a product that I can sell direct to consumers. I can put it in shops too, but I can sell it direct to consumers because again, my intentions are always to be a smaller company. You know, it's my aspirations is to be like maybe like a 5-10 man company max. You know, that's it. You know, I don't want to have 50 people problems. I don't want to have 100 people problems, you know, type of thing. I just want to be a smaller company. And if I do that seasoning line, that gets me to where I can deal with customers just directly. And then I can still go put it into, you know, meat markets or whatever like that. But, you know, I think that's, you know, it's just a better route for me, you know, because like I said, it just, people ask me to send them bags all the time. And it's like, bro, it's like $20 to send you $20, you know, and it just, it's very, very difficult to do.
Right.
People have asked me about pellets. I have a lot of friends who manufacture pellets. Pellets is a very, very hard game. It just, you know, there are some really good pellets out there, and then there's some really, really cheap ones out there. And as long as you have Walmarts and stuff like that out there, it's just super hard to play in that game. Let's see, what else do we have? I don't know.
So are you going to bring back pits?
We're thinking about it. So if we do, as of right now, I'm able to do one-offs. So if anybody wants an existing one, we can one-off one in about 2 weeks.
What about like live fire tables?
And that would be it. So live fire tables, Santa Marias, and we've got some designs for, you know, some other offsets. Here's my thing with offsets. Here's my things with all pits, period. As soon as I released my fire table and had it out there, because again, I'm going to back up because we got approached by Food Network for some pits for barbecue brawl 3 years ago, and it happened to be in San Francisco. They were filming in California, and for that particular one, they were looking for some offset smokers. Perfect, we got them. Then they go, hey, we're in California. Do you think that you can make us a Santa Maria grill? I'm like, well, it just so happens because I met Al Fragoni and I got kind of tied into that live fire world with Al, like in the height of COVID is when I met Al. And so when I saw his products, I was like, oh, bro. So this is the way I really like to cook. Yeah. And at the time you had like Mill Scale. It was just putting out some fire tables. So it was like just open market, right? So we had some that we were already developing, and I had one that I was developing with Al because he had those round ones that look like wagons. And then he had another one there that was a tagwood. And I was like, bro, I said, give me your idea of a perfect pit. And so we sat down and we designed the perfect pit that he would like to cook on for a live fire grill. And that's where I came up with the live fire table that we have. And so the one that we developed actually is the bottom cart is universal. So we made it convertible. So basically you have a bottom cart that's just a fire table piece. And then if you want to put just a couple of planchas or you put some grills on there with the fire burn down, you can put that on there and be done with it. Or you want to step it up and you want to put poles on there. You want to put the roof and the back wall, you know, so you can always continue to add stuff. And then once we built that platform, we jerked everything off. And then I just put a slide in Santa Maria on there. So you can have the one table base and then you can have all these different accessories, you know, for the same price as you can buy a poncho table. And no, I'm just playing. Whatever that table is that they always sell on Facebook, it's like $500 for the folding table or whatever. And, but that's kind of the thing is I'm always kind of looking at like me. I'm a consumer, bro. and it's gotta make. I've got a wife,
Right.
y'all know, I can't be dragging, $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 worth of stuff home all the time, even though I do, because it's like, you got to justify that at the end of the day. And so when we came up with that fire table idea, it was like, how can we build something that is exactly what you want or exactly what you need? I don't want to sell you something that you don't need, but you always want to be able to get something and go, oh no, but I'm going to buy this today, and then next, in 6 months, I'm going to get this other piece, and then I'm going to get this other piece and add to it, type of deal. But at the same time, you want the whole piece to last you the lifetime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of pits out there that you can buy, bro, and 1 or 2 years they're done, and you just can't see it. It kills me when I see people who bought high dollar offsets or any of these live fire tables, stuff like that, and dude, within 1 year they look like trash, just because it just you just burn them up. They're too thin. They're they don't have enough coating on them. They don't whatever. The worst
Right.
thing is you buy something that's too light and then you just warp the hell out of it. But anyways, so the plan is, if we do it, we'll wind up doing it all under the Texas Fire brand, and then it all kind of makes sense, on what we're we're gonna do. And over the last couple of years, I've done a lot of stuff with Weber. A lot of people kind of noticed that I promoted some Napoleon stuff over the last, like at Royal. While we were there at Royal, I met some guys with Napoleon, which I cooked on some of their stuff at an Ace show when I did some stuff with Cosmos, with Darian at an Ace show. And those guys approached me and want to promote. They want to partner with the charcoal company to promote the charcoal side of Napoleon. And so what we're doing right now is like almost all my guys right now all have a Napoleon grill right now, charcoal grill. So I put them all in a Napoleon grill. If it fits what they do, I told them use them. If you can use it in your comp, awesome. If you can't, use it at the house, shoot some content with it or whatever. Mm-hmm. But we're going to kind of help them kind of get more exposure into the charcoal world of things. They want to partner with my charcoal, whether it's, my Texas Original or my Texas Fire brand, doesn't really matter to them. The upside for me is they have distribution and they only sell to specialty stores. So the distribution channels that they have would go hand in hand with my product to be able to get me coast to coast with more retailers, independent retailers, coast to coast. So we kind of made a move that way. I love my guys at Weber. Weber's just too big. They don't need any help. They don't need help from me. So we've had a great relationship. We discussed this before I made a decision to do something with Napoleon, and they understood it. And I just come out with a Weber, the Weber Ranch kettle. So I converted those into live fire tables. Nice. And so I've got this attachment that we actually sell that you can put on a ranch kettle. And so we launched that at Al's. Al Fragoni has his live fire event that he does in Hondo. Right. And I actually had Dusty Green with Weber actually came down, cooked with me, launched it. That was the first time anybody saw that thing. It's killer. And then, of course, then the next weekend I had to go to the Royal to go, then we launched that deal with Napoleon. But, our deal is we have to do what's good for us. We have to do what's good for the longevity of the company. And, got to do what's good for my family too. So I think over the, long scale of things, I mean, that's always where you're going to see. I don't want to be a sellout. I came right when we first launched Texas Original. I got approached by Academy like right away because we were just blowing it up on social and, all this other stuff. And they reached out and they're like, hey, we want your product in our store. I was like, I ain't going to sell it to you because you directly affect. When I sell to independent stores, the first thing they ask me is like, who else is going to sell this? Because they want something unique in the market, and they don't want to sell it for $20 when they're selling it for $14 over here. And that's kind of the deals that we want to get away from. My agreement that I'm going to have with this Napoleon deal is we're going to have a set price that when it goes in these independent retailers, if you buy one in California or you buy one in Austin, Texas, it's going to cost the same amount. And I'm talking about what it is today. I'm not talking about we're going to go and revamp and increase prices or anything else like that. We're just talking about I want my guys to be able to buy this no matter where it goes. I love that people load up on it when they get the opportunity. But at the same time, I want those people to just buy it independently, just to be able to just buy a bag and go. So, hopefully, like I said, we're still a baby company, bro. So, we hope to grow, but, I don't expect it. We're not going to have, we'll have a few more brand expansions, but as far as, I aspire to have a mesquite lump coal. I aspire to have a mesquite lump briquette. I aspire to have, something with pecan in it. I probably will never do hickory just because I don't like hickory. But like I said, I mean, that's just my preference. But if I don't believe in it, nobody else is going to believe in it either. So that's just kind of what it is. And I think that's going to be like the whole, that's going to be the product line. I've talked to Butler Wood about doing some private label wood to go into some other markets, but it's always going to be known that I would do that with Butler. It would be Butler's product in a private labeled box. I'm not a wood chopper. I don't do that deal. He does that. So I'm not going to take that away from him.
Well, we were lucky to get some out here because of Kyle. So Kyle went down there, got those couple of pallets, man, and I've been selling it in Odessa. I still have a few bags left. I'm kind of low, but man, I'm telling you, everybody that's bought it, they're not comp barbecue guys. They're just barbecue guys. They're backyarders, right? So, but they keep coming back. You know what I mean? And it's always the same thing, man. That's good stuff. I need to get some more. So, and they can go to the dollar store and grab some cheap Kingsford or whatever, but they're coming and grabbing the Texas Original. They don't know the name from the brand or anything. You know what I mean? It's catching. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the deal is I hate to go away from it, but like I said, I just feel like I'm gonna have to. But we're gonna keep Texas in there somewhere. But the thing is people ever since COVID, the barbecue industry period, they got like 10 million new customers, and with internet and social and everything else and TikTok especially, you brought so many new people into the game. And, people, this is me, right? I cook my turkey on a Weber pellet grill, and I loved it, because I didn't want to have to stay up and mess with it, but the people who appreciate a good fuel understand what the fuel will do for their finished product, because again, whether you're cooking on a can or you're cooking on a green egg or you're cooking on a Kamado Joe or a regular Weber grill, doesn't matter. You can always tell the difference of that fuel when you're burning it, and the thing is for us is like, once I get the house done, we're going to start getting into like more backyard classes, but I'm going to start bringing in people once a month, guys who have brands to come in and do their own classes there.
Nice.
Because like I said, is I don't think that you can ever quit learning. Now for serious comp classes, bro, that's a whole other animal, I always kind of set on those is like I came up from a deal that I know, there you go, Kevin. But I came up with a deal that we still figured it out. We didn't depend on just going and doing classes and then going and cooking. We went to go figure it out. We did all the trials and tribulations, and we fucked up more shit than we ever had success with. But at the end of the day, we were like, no, I did this. When we were doing it, everything that we had, we made. So like all our pits that we had. I had a pit builder that, I'd come up with crazy designs and the dude would build it. And he'd go, "It ain't going to work." I'm like, "Nah, fuck it, just make it." And then, at the end, he's like, "I told you it wasn't going to work," but that was the deal is, we came up there and we kind of figured it out. Right now, there's more of a roadmap for people to jump off into it. Right. You're like, "Oh, you're going to cook chicken. Oh, you need a Weber. Oh, you're going to, oh, you need a drum, and because people already know right now, the majority of cans that are out there right now, they all work, but it still depends. You still got to know what you're running. Right. The consistency in you running your recipe is the same consistency as you running your pit. Right. By not having that same fuel that you ran last week, your pit's going to run different. And once you find a better fuel, in my opinion, is if you pay more for a fuel, it better last me longer. It better do, I better be able to tell that that's going to do a better job for me. A lot of times there's a lot of fuels out there right now that you pay a lot more money for, and they're worse than what you were running before. Right. And it's only because, like I said, it's a lot of the charcoal that you'll find in stores right now, pick up a bag of mine, of my lump, and then go pick up a bag of somebody else's 20-pound lump and see what the difference is. Because their bags are filled, most of all charcoal bags are all volume fills, not poundage fills. Like my lump charcoal that I have right now, we get 3/4 of that bag gets mechanically filled. So it's just a hopper, right? The bag runs down a hopper, you fill the hopper, and then at the end of that, they go through and they hand place pieces on top. So to make sure that we can get it all the way to the top of that bag by the time you're going to move and settle and everything else. Because every time that you open that bag, I want something good to look at. If you do that and you just see good stuff on top, you're going to feel good about that whole bag. The first time you open a bag and it's just trash from the very first look that you have in there, it doesn't matter if it's better underneath or not, it's going to be a terrible bag. Right. When you find coal, in a store and there's a whole pallet sitting there, I mean, it's always going to be that first bag's always going to be the best bag on that pallet. The last one left on there may have some structural issues to it, but it's still going to be good coal, but I 100% believe in, the power of the consumer. You do one person right, they're going to be happy with you. You do them wrong, they're going to tell everybody. You know how that goes. Yeah. And I've always tried to keep myself available. I'm always very open. I'm, anybody needs to holler at me, they can. But that's one of the reasons why, with me telling you this about, potential branding change and stuff like that, that's why my socials haven't been very strong over the last 6 months. Because we've been trying to keep it on a down low while I've been trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. I don't have anybody else to ask on this deal except for my guys who represent me and my wife, and that's the ones that I like. Every single time I'll reach out to, I'll get a couple of my guys on the phone and go, "Hey, look, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think?" I always use them as a sounding board first, before I go make any decisions. I've been very, very lucky to have like Manuel. I'll use Manuel, Bobby, and Kevin all the time, because those three right there, they don't even ask me. They're like, "Hey, we're going to go cook this one, and we're cooking this Texas Original this weekend." I'm like, "Bro, just go cook under your name or whatever." And they're like, no, because they want to get, because they've been to the Royal with me. They've been to Memphis with me. They've been to, they've been to all these events with me. And, and they're like, "No, we want to go and we want to walk that stage as Texas Original." And I appreciate
they believe in the brand.
It's crazy. Yeah. And, and like I said, any of those guys, they'll do anything for me and I'll do anything for them. If I got it, they got it, type of deal.
Right. Well, it's a great product, man. The first time I used it, man, I was hooked. I mean, Kevin gave me some at Fort Davis, And
Oh, yeah.
I shit you not, Joey. I did on my brisket drum. Kevin set me up with some briquettes and some charcoal. By the end of by the end of the cook, like after awards was done, I went to go throw everything in the ash bucket before I left, and I still had whole coals in there.
Yeah.
Like unburnt coals, and I'm like, I've never seen that before. And that was an all day thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it lasted. I mean, it burns hot and it goes.
Yeah, it does.
So, and
Well,
that's what I tell everybody. That's what I tell everybody that buys a bag from me is like, hey man, it's not your regular, your charcoal. I mean, it's gonna burn. And a lot of guys ask me the same thing. How long does it burn? I said it burns. It burns.
burns long enough.
Yeah, it burns long enough, dude. So, but
it's long enough
product,
to leave
man.
your trailer smoking, bro. I'll tell you that. It sure will.
Well, and that's just kind of the thing is, when you come into it from this aspect, right? I know what I'm looking for in a cook. I know what I'm going to be happy with. I burn just as many bags as y'all do, as far as that goes. I just don't do it in a comp scene anymore. Right. Because I actually, once you get to come see my house, you'll understand, because I have basically like a 40 by 40, a patio at my house. And I've got almost the whole thing filled with pits, and every type of pit that you can imagine, we've got. And that's what it is when we go out there to go cook, I don't fire one pit. I'll fire 5 different pits, and we'll cook something different on every single one of them, with, one bag in every one of these pits, because that's my R&D. That's where I figure out, what's going on and when I notice a problem, I get on the phone right away and I tell my guys, hey, look, this is what I'm running into, and I can't have this anymore. When they send me trucks of charcoal at a time, I've got 53 pallets in a truck every time they come over here. So, if I have 53 pallets coming in and going out, and I may have 3 that go to Michigan, and I may have 2 that go to South Texas, and there's a chance that I may run into an issue. If I have a bad bag, somebody else has got a bad bag too. Right. So that's why I try to stay on top of it all the time. I ran into issues like that more so on wood products, when we were with B&B, because half of my time when I'm on the road, dude, I'm stopping at every grocery store. I stop at Walmart. I stop at Ace. I start, a 8-hour trip will take me 3 days, because I go check the markets, and I go and see what's available here, and where can I have a possible fit, but I have to understand what everybody else is doing as well, because it's when times are tough, and some people, they got to give up in one area or the other if they want to cook this weekend or whatever. I get it, I understand. But I always try to figure out what I'm up against. You're seeing more smaller brands pop up out there right now. But the number one thing that I go to is, as soon as I see somebody pushing that charcoal, and I go to their link or the website or, whatever it is, I'm like, bro, you're going to tell me that I'm going to pay $37 for a bag of charcoal? You're crazy. Because I'm not going to do it. Gabriel. Gabe, you need to go to Coda Powder Coating out on 123.
There you go, Gabe.
And but that's kind of one of those deals is, it's we kind of understand what people are looking for, and that type of deal. But
well, it says a lot whenever just the average Joe who doesn't know about competition barbecue, somebody just wants to light a grill, you know what I'm saying, and then they see that there is a different product in the area, you know what I mean? They come to me or Kyle, right? And then they come back after they cook and say, hey man, that was the best stuff that I've ever used. I need to get some more. You know what I mean? That says a lot. So,
well, I appreciate that very much. Like I said, we are I'm extremely blessed to have the people who help me promote this product, because like I said, they help me doing it, and and half the time I don't even feel like I do enough for these guys, but we're coming up on our the boys are fixing to head to Vegas to go cook that. We wanted to be up there, but we just can't do it. It just, man, we just got too much stuff going on, and then we've got
Sam's going to be burning some. Sam's going to be burning some in Vegas.
Derek, are you going, Sam?
Yes, sir.
That's going to be a good cook, man. That is going to be a very good cook.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. I wish that we could go, but like I said, it's not in the cards right now. But like I said, it's going to be one of, probably, you're going to be very impressed with the way that event is put together. She does a wonderful job, and I think that they, like I said, y'all are going to have a blast out there. Some of the things that we have on the calendar coming up is we'll be out in, let's see, where are we going? We're going to Briscoe Ranch. So we'll be at Briscoe coming up. After Briscoe, we've got San Antonio Rodeo, Houston Rodeo, Austin Rodeo. And of course, we've got our CBA finals January 10th, 11th weekend.
What do you enjoy doing the most, the festivals or comps, as far as you personally?
Me personally, I do lean back to the festivals right now. Although a lot of times I will go to comp if I have a good concentration of my guys, going. Sometimes I will, like Austin Rodeo, I won't turn anything in at Austin Rodeo. At San Antonio Rodeo, I won't turn anything in there either. I actually hand that off to one of my teams who will cook for me there. And what I do is I go to entertain. So I'll feed my people breakfast, lunch, and dinner there. And then we also entertain, while we're there, type of deal. I did that a couple times last year. I had a bunch of my guys went to Laredo and went down to cook there. We got Victor Garcia's down there as well. And like I said, I mean, I just went down there for the whole weekend. All I did was cook for them, and
what's the Joey Machado signature dish? What do you like? What's your favorite thing, man?
I'm gonna have to come back to so y'all were talking pork earlier. So pork butts, carnitas are kind of my they're my deal. So that's one of my things that I go if I do demos or cook for people. That's what I do.
Nice.
Because we have I have a special way of doing it. I cook boneless pork butts. When I go to cook, I quarter them, season them on all four sides, and that's how I'll take them and I'll break them down that way. So I'm not having to, it does the best for me that way. And then one of the things that I do for my guys is they turn out liking is we actually make pork enchiladas. So we make green chili pork enchiladas at a lot of the events to feed people. And like you said, and it's always a hit. But if I'm not doing that, then it's got to be bone-in ribeye tomahawks or ribeye rolls. That's my next favorite thing to cook. And nice. I got to say too, because I just mentioned Uncle Vic down in Laredo, and then I've got Hector Senega, who's been another one of my big strong supporters for a very long time.
Lobo Den.
That's it. He's, like I said, he's been around and again, all these people, the group that I have right now is because they're good people and they appreciate what I do or the products that we have. Right. I have people approach me all the time who, want to help me grow my brand. Well, I appreciate it, but I'm going to go jump on your social and I'm going to go, see how many posts you made with my product. I'm going to go see, how long have you been loyal to me? That I'm going to be loyal to you. People don't understand, tents cost $1,000, right. When I send, and here's the other deal too, that a lot of people don't understand is, so when you see people posting up going, oh, I got my pallet of charcoal and my, all this other deal, my guys don't get pallets. So my guys get product for them to use. And we try to meet up enough that we can get them kind of loaded up for what they need. And I tell my guy, that's the first time you post him a pallet of charcoal, you're off the team, bro. Because that's not the impression that we want to have, right? I don't want the impression that the only reason these people are using it is because they're getting it for free. Well, I get these guys charcoal, but they ain't doing it for free. I mean, because like I said, these guys have a lot more invested in this than what a lot of people would imagine. Like I said, they go out of their way for me all the time, and I go. Any of these guys who've gone to go do festivals with me will attest that it's an ass working event every single time that we go. I'm the one that is I like to have the best food at the festival. I like to be the one that don't run out of anything. Everyone else is shutting down, and we're cooking to the end. And but that's kind of but that's my deal. Is I appreciate the people.
Business. They're all business.
Yeah, 100%. And that's it. I mean, they're like me. We don't get Mark's the only one that I let get away with at events. Everybody else is we do work first, and then after that is party time.
Because all Mark has to do is push a button, right? That's all he's doing.
Yeah. Look, I have that with me too. It happens to be on my desk. I love
nice.
Joe.
Rolling Smoke. Yeah, Jennifer.
So
yeah.
But like I said, we've been fortunate to have a lot of good friends in the game. We've been fortunate to have been able to, there's not an event that we haven't gone to, that we haven't competed in. I've done every bucket list cook. I've cooked almost in every state. I've done some events that used to be bucket list cooked or bucket list cooks. Like Big Papa used to have a big cook-off out in California that went away. We've just been so fortunate to go see so many different things and so many different festivals. And I've been able to offer my guys the opportunities to go to these as well. As some of you followed, my daughter now works for, Turkey Federation. And,
we talked about turkeys.
We got to go to the White House to go see El Viejito. And we did, yep, there you go. And I mean, who'd have thought that, barbecue would even take us here? I didn't even know. And we had our good friends, Brad and Brooke Orson from the Shed were there. They do a lot of stuff with Turkey Federation as well. And there you go.
Right on. Yeah, congratulations on the engagement, by the way, for her as well. That's awesome.
I know. I don't know if that's a congratulation or what. I'm still processing right now. But I'm gonna tell
you only thought you were busy, Joey.
Oh my God, he's a good dude. My daughter picked a good one. He's the only one I've ever liked, so he's got that going for him right now. But
I got a question on this picture here, Joey. So where was this taken at? Because I see a big ass mess in the back, and I wonder who cleaned that.
So my daughter did. So every year, what they do is this is actually. So I guess it would be an 18-week or 19-week process for them to get to this point. So every year, a different producer gets picked to have the pin of birds that will actually go to the White House. So they grow these birds, and they'll grow more than those two, right? They got a couple of sets of pins, and they actually, ever since they hatch, they put them up on pedestals. They have flashing lights. They have loud music. They have all kinds of stuff to acclimate these birds to be able to do to
get stressed out,
right? So then once they get within a week or two of the pardoning, then they actually pick the ones that are going to go. So then they put those things in a car, and so they drove these from Minnesota, and so then they go to the Willard Hotel, which is the closest hotel to the White House. It's actually just right across the street. And so for the last 17 years, they have this at this particular hotel every single year. So the hotel on Friday, was it Friday? Yeah, Friday the birds got there. No, Saturday the birds got there. And then they do this red carpet walk-in. So they introduce the birds. And then, so that's the first vision that anybody has of these birds. And then they got to hide this, dude, because PETA shows up every year. And so they try to throw a monkey wrench in this deal. So they used to get the birds from outside and they walk them into the hotel. And now what they do is they don't tell anybody when they're showing up. And they do the red carpet inside the hotel now. So PETA can't be there. So then on Sunday, they actually have the press conference where they have all the news and everything show up. And that's when they actually announce the birds' names. So the birds are actually named by the cabinet is the ones who did it. So if y'all don't like the names, he's the one who did it. And because what were they, Peaches and Blossom or whatever? And because they're toms, bro. I mean, they're anyways. So anyway, so they name them. And then the next day, Monday, was the actual pardoning of the turkeys. And so with that deal, bro, we had to get there like 3 hours early, and you got to go through security. Like, I have a whole new respect for TSA because, I mean, they don't do nothing compared to, the Secret Service, bro. They do everything. And of course, I wore a buckle and I wore a belt that had, 100 fucking studs in it. And I was holding up the whole goddamn line. So anyways, but by the time you get in there and you get sat down, and we're very lucky, normally for this event, they only have a couple of hundred people who actually get to go to this deal in person. This year, because it was Biden's last year, bro, he's been in there for 50 years and, everything else. He invited everybody, the whole cabinet. He wanted everybody there. So they had 3,000 people attend this year.
Holy shit.
But if, from some of the pictures that I posted and stuff like that, we were actually like right in front of the podium, like three seats back, I mean, so we're like right there. So it was really cool. We got to sit there with the Turkey Federation, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm no Joe Biden fan. I'm gonna tell you that, but I felt better because my daughter had asked me because her boyfriend couldn't go, so she's like, "Will you go with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go." And so when she asked me, I was like, "Man, I don't know." It was right before the election, and I said, if Trump don't win, I don't know if I want to go. And then of course he won, and then so it was all good. So I've got pictures where I'm sitting there with this Trump Vance sign right there in front of the White House.
Stirring the pot.
Oh man, early. But I tell you what, it's we hopefully, God willing, that my daughter keeps doing what she's doing as the marketing director for Turkey Federation. We'll get to go again. Nice. We'll get to go next year, and then next year is gonna be badass. We get to go, and but I did have money on whether he was gonna wander, and I was like, wander right is where I had my money, and he wandered left. I was like, damn. But anyways, I mean, it is what it is. I was surprised because he didn't have, with him wanting everybody there. There was none of the Biden family was there except for that one little girl, which was, I guess, is one of Hunter's kids, but it wasn't the stripper's kid or whatever. It was the other kid. But anyways, that's a whole other story now that he pardoned Biden now. Or Trump,
almost forgot about the turkeys.
But anyway, so it's a good time. I'm going to tell everybody who's out there right now, barbecue can do a lot. If you're serious about competing and doing all this other stuff, all these cook-offs that we do all the time, if you've never made it outside of Texas, you got to do Memphis in May once. You've got to do the Jack if you can ever do it. We do an event every year. It's called Hogs for the Cause in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That is a super fun one. And the other one, now you got Smoke Slam and you got Memphis, right?
Yeah.
Memphis in May is still the one. That's the one that still means something to me. That's the title. Smoke Slam, I don't know if that's gonna, be there forever or whatever. But and of course American Royal, that's another one that, that you just got to do them all once.
Yeah.
And that's one of the good things. I'm a board member with CBA, and one of the main things that we came up with, when CBA was designed, was to get people accustomed and acclimated to be able to go do those contests and have success.
Right.
Because, I remember a time that we had probably 20 guys that would be at the Jack from Texas, or we'd have, 40 teams from Texas at the Royal, and it was always one category would kill them. And now that, like I said, pork is becoming a norm, in this deal, being a well-rounded cook nowadays it's so important, for you to do it. And the nice thing is you get the same way you cook, right now, because of the way that all the sanctioning bodies have gone. If you can have success at a CBA, you can have success in IBCA or a KCBS or NBN or, whatever. Right. It just becomes a textured thing then, like I said, it's, CBA is the best of both worlds. Right. It's got to be a wet and sloppy box, but it's got to be, but the texture's got to be right. Same thing for IBCA. IBCA's just got to fall off the bone. Right. So,
that had to have felt good, man. With the guys, Texas Original getting that first place pork last year. Seeing Texas Original up there, man, that must have been one of your favorite moments.
It was amazing. But, I always say the same thing happened this year. I mean, we
with Jackie.
We did good, but we had Fred up there. We had Jackie up there. Any given weekend, one of our friends is going to win.
Right.
If we don't win it, somebody we know is going to win. So we always want to be happy for whoever walks. Our group likes to stay until the end. We want to hear who's going to win that reserve, win that grand. We want to make sure that we congratulate everybody who comes through. One day it's our day and the other day it's theirs. Right. And I think that's one of the most important things in competition barbecue that people don't understand is you can't get just pissed off and leave. It's, you got to be, you got to support the whole group. CBA, they just announced, they did open the CBA finals is now online. I'm going to tell y'all now, because we didn't put it up there because we don't have the official documentation yet. It will be a turkey smoke event. So we will have turkey smoke at this event. And I think that right now we're just going to do it just any turkey that you want except for ground, just on foil in a box. And, we're going to take you to pretty much what wins at most of these other bigger contests. Usually slices win, whether you're doing tenderloins, you're doing whole breasts or whatever. I mean, that's going to be it. We're not going to ask people to make, turkey roulades and all that other stuff. It just put your best meat in the box. And we're hoping if everything comes. Yep, there you go. If you think that's the best product, you got to put it there. Because, one of the nice things with turkey smoke this next year is the program's going to change. And, they're going to get, there's not going to be as many of them, but they are going to be out there. But they're going to have like set pays, set trophies, set, big checks. There's Reggie Q.
He's on.
Fresh from doing it. Yeah. And, but anyways, but like I said, there's a bunch of organizations that we support. And like I said, it just, we are an enthusiast company. We aren't just a company out there, making money on somebody's hobby. We're deeply involved in this as well.
Yeah, it's a brand. It's a true brand. I mean, from everything that y'all do, man.
Well, we just, to be honest, at the end of the day is, we want to be a lifestyle brand. You know, we want to come out with gear that people want to wear and you know, be happy to be part of the family, you know, type of deal. But we also want to support other groups out there, you know.
Yeah. And that makes, you know, Texas Original a great ambassador for barbecue, like they say. You know what I mean? Like, y'all are in it. You know, y'all are not just selling to Walmart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And doing that stuff. You're there for the cooks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we'll be, like I said, is we're, you know, if the brand changes are happening and everything else, you know, everybody will be the first to know, because we'll be out there loud and proud, you know, pushing it and selling it and doing everything else. Because like I said, is I honestly want to hurry up and make all this happen so we can get back to life as normal and, you know, get back on a normal social schedule and, you know, everything else.
What about merch? When's the merch coming?
One of the hoodies.
Them hoodies that you see, those are actually doled out by Bobby Delgado. So that is a team thing, and we've got some other things that we're gonna drop. But again, like I said, is we have special things that are created by the guys for the guys, you know, type of thing. We are going to have another deal. Like, I mean, bringing back B&B back in the days, you know, I had I had B team, and then I had like the B team, then I had like a C team, and then everybody got all crazy, and then there was, you know, 100 people on the team, and you know, once you get to that point, it don't make it special anymore.
Right.
You know. So, you know, we want to try to figure out how we do want more people involved in this. We want them to feel like they're a part of this thing. But how do we do that without offending, you know, the people that are all skin in the game, right?
Hey, you snooze, you lose on some of your merch. Once you're posting, you better get it, because it's not going to be there for long.
That's it.
So.
Hell yeah.
Well, cool,
time
man.
to burn that expert grill hoodie, man. Shit.
Hey, Joey.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you representing, wearing the hat tonight for the West Texas Bash, man. And I appreciate everything you do for both the bashes, the West Texas and South Texas, coming out, sponsoring us, showing up in person. You know, your whole team's out there cooking, man. I appreciate everything that you do for what we're trying to do and give back to the community.
Right on, bro.
Mark's looking for that investment.
Oh, I know. Well, I tell you what, we're really looking forward to South Texas this year. You know, West Texas is a blast. Anybody who, you know, didn't go, they need to figure out how to get a hold of a team to go cook. It's a fun event, and I think that, you know, if more people follow that model that they kind of push down in at the West Texas one down here. Which I think last year there was like Kevin went, Bobby went, Manuel went. Last year they picked up some companies to cook for. You know, there was a lot of guys down there actually, and Michelle and Adam were there too. But like I said,
your 3-time champ.
Right there. And Aaron kept killing it. I forget all about it. Aaron's he's the champion of champions when it comes to.
He has a lock on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got to do his class here pretty quick. But but I tell you what is I did spend some time in the oil field, and that's, you know, it is special to me. You know, I dealt a lot with did a lot of API cook-offs, and you put on a lot of cook-offs and stuff like that for the American petroleum industry. And like I said, we have, you know, without oil, we ain't got nothing. And, but I tell you what, you know, like I said, those events were really, really good. And we were so happy to go to that one. I got Michelle sitting here with me. What's the other one we have to go to this year? We didn't get to go this past year. Up there with Joe and.
Oh, we're going to Fort Davis.
Oh yeah, for Fort Davis, we got to go to Fort Davis.
Yes, sir.
We didn't get to go last year, so we're going to go up there.
Smoking
and again, it's probably going to be more in a support cooking. There's Colin. more of a support role, and we'll talk about, doing some public facing type of stuff. Same thing.
Rub it in, Kevin.
Yeah, I won't be able to make that one this year. Man, it kind of sucks, but the day of the cook off, that Friday, my daughter's gonna have surgery, so I won't be able to make it. Yeah, so and that's when is that? What's the date on that one? Any of y'all know?
Like
Not
June
off the top of
6th.
my head.
Yeah, I think her surgery is actually scheduled on the 5th in Dallas, so I'm out. Dude.
Well, like I said, we understand there's always something that I want to do that I can't do.
Right.
Or that I get informed that I can't do, because I'll always say yes in the background. She goes, no, you can't either. And, but hopefully, like I said, we'll see. Majority of folks, we're really hoping to see them there at the CBA finals for sure. We're going to have that is going to be bigger and better this year. Every year is going to get bigger and better. I do a live fire event on that Friday night. And then, we'll be at Briscoe as well. We'll be doing some cooking for the public. We may do enchiladas at the Briscoe.
Nice.
Even though they do enchiladas for their meal for all the teams, but I may do some on Saturday regardless. And I think it's going to be the weather might be right for it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, do any of y'all cook San Antonio rodeo?
No, I don't think anybody was able to get in that
None
one.
of us have.
Nope.
If any of y'all want to come,
basketball.
if any of y'all want to come and hang out with us, feel free. I'm limited on spots. I get 4 spots a year because I help the international teams there. Okay. And so I'll have Victor, Hector, Robert Rocha, and Kevin with us this year. And then I have Philip Ellie, who's got Coda powder coating down here in Seguin. He's been a buddy of mine for years. He'll be down there with us as well. But like I said, we will be doing some entertaining. Like I said, if y'all come down, y'all have a home to come hang out with for sure.
Appreciate it.
That, bro.
Yes, sir, 100%. And
I can hook you up with the drunk leprechaun.
I'll take him.
He's on the screen right here.
We will. We'll have fun. We should have a little Tito's bar there going on, and it's like I said, San Antonio is a fun event. It's just San Antonio is turning into Houston though, and I'll be the first to say it. I mean, they're about scholarship money. That's what they're about. And if they could go 100% corporate, they'd go 100% corporate. I just don't think that they're, I don't think it's going to support it, but like I said, it's unfortunate that, we've been cooking San Antonio for, I don't even know how many years, but it's always been one that, has always been special. The kids of my wife's birthdays was always on that weekend. This is the first year it's not, so they're all
Nice.
they're all excited about not being there. But
it'd be nice to see San Antonio Rodeo go CBA. That'd be nice.
Man, we came close a couple years ago, and then they had a board vote, and they can't get away from paper scoring. That's their thing. It's come back to bite them in the ass with 2 different groups now, and and I think that we were scary. I mean, it was scary, when we had the opportunity to do it, because we were pretty new when they wanted us to do it, and we're like, yeah, I think we can do it. I think Briscoe was the first one that we did that had over 120 teams or something like that. Right. And then to try to jump up to San Antonio at that time, it was like, I don't even know if we were really ready. I think it's fine. But, with all of us being cooks and understanding, I don't want to win today and then lose 2 days from now. It's got to be right that night. And even if you come up with a mistake, you got to be able to jump on there and fix it right away. Right. And I think that half the time, that's what they've done is they've let these things, they just settle too long. And then, then it becomes a big issue. But we all know, like I said, it's what you have invested, the time that you have in there, everything else. And if you have an opportunity even to walk 15th place at a event like that means a ton.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And to have something like that taken from you or stripped away or whatever, it makes you lose faith in the system and and everything else. But like I said, is checks are nice, but when there's not a check, that banner will do. And like I said, to be able to stack up those banners especially is something very, very special. And to be able to strap on one of them buckles is even more.
Right.
Oh, there he goes. He's making me cook enchiladas there at San Antonio too. But no, we have a good time. Like I said, we have a good time. Oh yeah, Uncle Vic's with us too at
San Antonio.
But anyways, like I said, let's if you see me or you see my guys out there, always pop in there and say hello. Like I said, most of my guys are I put them on the spot and say most of them are pretty open door policy. Like I said, it's if you have a question, I think that's part of the reason that this group that I have does so well is because they all communicate.
It's a real team.
And like I said, and because it was crazy. We had 2 years ago when they won Pork at Royal, that was Manuel's spot. And then Manuel made that decision. And he told me, he's like, hey, I'm going to bring Kevin and Bobby up. I was like, are you sure about that? And then when they came, I just didn't think they were going to be able to. It's hard to bring 3 head cooks in at a competition like that and let them all work, because I remember those days like, we're just going to cook 3 ribs and then we'll decide. Nah, you can't do that. You just got to agree on one and roll with it. Right. And when they were able to pull that out, then that's
awesome.
That changed my whole opinion. And those guys, they meshed together very well. And there's been a lot of contests they've cooked together. I think they're cooking Vegas together.
Right.
And, but like I said, it takes a lot for everyone to understand the strengths and weaknesses, and like I said, it just so happens that, we've got a great brisket cook. We got a great pork cook. We got a great rib cook. And then they all cook chicken well together or, vice versa, wherever it is. But like I said, to be able to understand that and have the same goal at the end of the day is, that means a ton.
And they're all fueled by Texas Original Charcoal.
We appreciate it. And and the other thing too is, just because my team is very strong, ethnically loaded. It's not on purpose, like I said, it just so happens that, everybody is, it just kind of worked out that way, and like I said, it's there's no particular reason for that. I just want to throw that out there. And I'm the whitest Mexican you're going to meet anyway. But
we could throw a leprechaun in there. Can even it out.
A dash of salt.
But like I said, hopefully throughout this year, like I said, we, these events that we do get to go to, the Royal, Memphis, and stuff like that, we have opportunities through the years of, we have spots that are open. Like we have categories that sometimes we don't want to cook or we have extra categories. And, so, people reach out to me all the time, go, hey, I'd sure like to go up there and go cook. Come on, meet us down there and you can come cook with us.
Nice.
So like I said, we always have that open door. If people want to come down and just come hang out with us and, get that experience of what it is, just let us know or reach out to one of my guys because we always would have that opportunity open.
Cool, man.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to be popping down there this weekend. I'll go bug Kevin and Manuel and Bobby.
Bug him for me because I wish I would do it.
Hey, Sam, we're going to get some live feed from over there or what?
Now you have
early the alcohol starts flowing.
Yeah.
Hey, you better start that live feed early.
Oh, man.
It'll be a good one. I tell you, there's gonna be a lot of people on that live stream at awards.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Absolutely.
Well, cool, Joey. All right, brother. Like I said, I appreciate you coming on, man. I know we tried getting you on a couple weeks ago, and I think that's when you were in DC, weren't you?
Yeah, we had planned for it. I thought I was gonna be back in time, but we didn't. But like
we
I said,
made it happen. So we made it happen.
I just want to know how in the hell did y'all get Kent Rollins to do your intro?
That's so.
I heard that.
Paris Randall.
I heard it, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds just like Kent Rollins."
He's a buddy actor of ours, so he's in a couple of my brother-in-law's movies and stuff. And whenever we decided to do the show, I was like, I kind of knew what I wanted to do for the intro.
Yeah,
and I knew the voiceover I wanted to have, and he's like, Parrish is the one to do it. So sure enough, Parrish is a good guy. He's out of Dallas, so he's a cool dude, man.
Well, good. Well, thank you guys again, and like I said, hopefully we'll be seeing all y'all here pretty soon. And like I said, it's just everybody walk last.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate it, Joey. Thanks a lot, man.
All right.
Thank you, Joey.
All right,
good night, y'all.
Yeah.
All right.
Dang. That was a whole nother level, guys.
That is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Joey's bad.
I'm telling you, man. I gave my final kiss goodbye to my expert grill tonight.
You go burn your last bag. It shouldn't take too long to burn it, though.
Right.
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
About 20 minutes. That's for the big bag.
Hey, Michael, you can hit up either me or Kyle if you. I know you said you're out of Crane. If you want to hit us up, we got. Well, I don't know if Kyle has any more. I know I got a few bags. So if you want to try some, hit me up, man.
Yeah, I got a couple left too. I got to load back up here pretty soon.
Yeah, we're running a little low, but we got.
Yeah. You guys let me know when you re-up, man. Hell yeah.
I'll need some after Vegas.
Cool. Oh, well, dude, I gotta see you in a leprechaun suit now, Sam.
Nice.
Fucking drunk leprechaun. Fucking representing for fucking over there, Texas Original.
Hell yeah.
Maybe.
Thanks, Mike.
I'll see if I can find one. It's more like a green Oompa Loompa suit.
Oh shit! What else, guys? We good?
But I think we're good.
Yeah,
what do we got next week?
Yeah, Serge, what we got next week?
I don't know. Sam's the secretary.
Oh shit!
What do we got? Sam?
Look on your notes app. I can't pull it up right now. I think it's is it Peter and your cousin Serge? Is it a steak show?
Yeah, so we're gonna have Peter. What's the last name, Kyle?
Armadeus.
There you go. And Roland.
That dude's cool as hell. Oh yeah.
Both world champions, steak cooks, man. It's gonna be a good one. So we're excited about having both of them on. For sure.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Man.
Yep.
Get some insight on some steak cooking.
Hell yeah.
Oh no, they help. We need help on that too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Let's see what else. I think we're good, man. I think
we're good. Yeah.
I appreciate y'all being on for another Monday, and hopefully we'll see y'all next week.
So
we'll be here.
Thanks for everybody coming on and give us a like. We appreciate it.
Thanks again, guys.
All right, we'll see y'all, boys.
All right, man.
Later, fellas.
Later.
This is Parrish Randall, and this concludes this episode of Beyond the Smoke. Thanks for stopping by, friend. We hope to see you again real soon. Until next time, happy trails. Until we talk meat again.